Cheerio!
Bye.
Bye. Oh, it's raining.
I'm Jen Susan Blackwell. I'm the founder, the director and the queen of Down syndrome.
So if we were to take away the dance, what would be left?
Just me on my own.
Do you think you'd be happy?
No.
Up until Jen was 28, she thought she had friends because she interacted with people and she saw everybody else interacting with people, so she assumed she had friends, but what she had was acquaintances. She had no understanding because she had never experienced what friendship was all about. She had nobody, absolutely nobody she could turn to and chat to just because she was feeling down. She had nobody who valued her for who she was and wanted to be around her for who she was and was totally non-judgmental about her. She had a whole host of people around her who were supporting her, and parents and people at school and people from the necessary evils, social services and the likes. And so those supposedly were friends, but she only started to experience the joy of friendship when Down syndrome got going. So that is probably the achievement I am proudest of.
And this one, my dance buddy, has come into my life, and going on holiday with her is a huge honour, and dancing with her is also a huge honour for me, and I can't believe of where I am.
Yeah. Yes, you do realise though when you're going on holiday that we're going to be zungering on that beach at 8 o'clock in the morning, There's no escaping.
I think you're going to be getting everybody at the restaurant dancing yourself,
Yes.
Not sure whether it's dancing on the tables or not in Cyprus, but I'm sure there's going to be some dance involved.
I'm sure we can do. There's all sorts we can do, isn't there?
Well, the biggest challenge is fundraising. That's the biggest challenge that we have, because it's, as you said earlier, do people really realise what Down syndrome does and the impact it has? Unless you're involved, it's quite difficult to see that, and I think that's why getting more and more people involved is the right view.
So I've asked for that as well, but yeah. If the money runs out for Down syndrome, then Down syndrome cannot carry on. So I have to make sure that we have the funding in place to make sure that we can keep going, and I absolutely will make sure of that.
And you dancing, how do you feel?
I shine bright like a diamond.
If you look at what Down syndrome brings them, and therefore you say you're going to remove that, I think it would lose the friendships. You'd lose that purpose in life of, why are you getting up in the morning and going and doing what you want to do?
Take the dance out of Jen, you will have a basket case. You will have her sick, physically, emotionally and mentally, and a cost to the system.
We recently submitted an application to the big lottery for a project as part of their Reaching Communities, and it's a two-stage process. So we got through stage 1 and were invited to apply for stage 2, and then unfortunately when the application went to their panel at stage 2 we were unsuccessful. So we've got some good feedback. We've been told that our project is a good project, it is a viable project, and it is fundable, but the competition is so intense.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yay. Cheers, mate. So, how did you find doing team dances then, Becca?
I absolutely love it, Pete, and it's what I've been
I've been after to do, and this is why that I've been rehearsing it at my home like that, just in case if it was going to be a dance, and it was. And yeah, I think it's definitely paid off.
The difficulty with learning disability, it's not like some other charities where there is, let's call it an immediate life-threatening situation, you know, a drought or a famine or cancer or something like that, that is, if you like, is more readily linked with the money that paid to the solution. With this, the solution is a longer-term solution, but just as valid and just as important, because it will make just the same amount of change. So we're trying to do things, I think the company Down Syndrome is trying to do things that will change people's lives for the long term, and that's the thing that is more difficult to try to get over in terms of what we do.
How has having Down syndrome helped you?
It's helped me a lot. If it wasn't for my best friend and for you guys have captured my heart. And both Peter and I, we've been dancing ever since, and he is my boyfriend. He's not only my boyfriend, but he's the man of my dreams, the love of my life and everything. He's taught me an awful lot through dancing. He's helped me in so many ways. And I just want to say to him that I love him with all my heart.
We always approach businesses and ask for support and sponsorship. It has to be something that touches them, something that they think is going to be affiliated with the work that they're doing, and that is really, really challenging because there are so many great charities out there. Every charity does good work, so really it's about how do we set Down syndrome apart.
I think it's inclusion, the way that it is led by the learning disabled people. So it's not a group of people doing the right thing for a group. It's them doing it for themselves, which I think is the major difference. And that's so important in bringing that fulfillment and purpose to the organisation.
I'm proud to say I'm a part of it, you know, especially when there's things like going with the Miranda's Mad March and, you know, showing Jen off, you know, when she's won things like the Inspirational Woman of the Year, and not all the big things, but also the little things as well, like, you know, explaining to people what Down syndrome does. And, you know, I'm proud to say that I am a part of that, but also part of Jen's life, you know.
Hi ladies, I'm Jen Blackwell. I'm the founder, the director and the queen of Down syndrome. And not only that, I'm also the Inspirational Woman of the Year, as I have won my Inspirational Woman of the Year award, which I am so happy about. This award to me is so special. Being with Down syndrome has changed my life. It's given me a voice to be heard. It's given me absolutely everything in my life. If it wasn't for my mum and dad who hasn't supported me, my life in dance would not be happening, and now it is.
We think that the future of Down syndrome is incredibly bright and very, very positive. So we are getting a lot of acclaim locally. People know who Down syndrome are. It's so exciting, and there is that feeling of excitement amongst everybody, and it's a real challenge, but it's one that we won't be fazed by.